Hello and welcome to Nikolay's genetics lessons, and today's question I got from one of my subscribers, and here's a question. Achondroplasia is an autosomal dominant genetic disorder, while red-green color blindness an X-linked recessive disorder. For given population, the frequency of achondroplasia is 1 in 25,000. If red-green color blindness affects 9% of males, what percentage of the population would you expect to be? And here's the questions. Before I will show you a solution, let me explain first theory. For example, what is a red-green color blindness? This is X-linked recessive genetic disorder. Imagine that in our gene pool we have following X chromosomes. So normal X chromosome I will show with green color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 9th is going to be defective. Not the whole chromosome, of course, just one gene on this chromosome, which we call allele, is defective. But for simplicity, we just show the whole chromosome as defective. So let this blank space would stand for the X chromosome. As you know, female has 2 X chromosomes, and male has X and Y chromosome. So let's put Y chromosome here, because we're only interested in X chromosome. So if you know that this is our whole gene pool, which consists of 9 X chromosomes, what is the probability for this male to be affected? And you will say easily that 1 out of 9. So just statistically, probability for a male to be affected would be 1 out of 9. And to be phenotypically normal, inherit normal X chromosome from the mother side, would be 8 out of 9. Because males are homozygous, for male to express this genetic disorder, we need only 1 X chromosome. So his probability to be affected 1 out of 9. But for female to be affected, she needs 2 defective X chromosomes. Because if she has only 1 X chromosome and another normal, because this is X-linked recessive genetic disorder, her phenotype is still going to be normal. She would be carrier, but phenotypically would be normal. So for female to be affected, she have to have 2 defective X chromosomes. And probability to have 1 defective X chromosome, if we consider this gene pool for female, would be 1/9. And probability that second X chromosome also would be defective also would be 1/9. And we have to multiply these two independent probabilities, and we can say that probability for female to be affected would be 1 out of 81. Compare with a male. Male has probability to be affected 1/9, and female to be affected with the same genetic disorder, she has probability 1 out of 81. So this is our gene pool. Now let me save this picture somewhere here in the corner. So just remember that red-green color blindness is an X-linked recessive genetic disorder. And as for the achondroplasia, this is an autosomal dominant genetic disorder. And this disorder causes dwarfness in both males and females, because this is not sex-linked, not X chromosome linked. This is autosomal dominant genetic disorder, so both sexes would get it with the same frequency, which is 1 in 25,000. So let me underline that achondroplasia happens in 1 person per 25,000. And to be affected with this genetic disorder, a person just have to have 1 defective allele on 1 chromosome. This is dominant genetic disorder. Now let's answer the questions. And the first question: what is the probability of the colorblind male and normal height? So this basically means what is the probability for a male to be of the following genotype. So defective X and normal Y chromosome and normal height. With height it is very easy, but let's first solve for the colorblindness. And as you know, 9%, we also can say that this is going to be 9 out of 100, right? So this is probability for this male to be color blind. but what is the probability for him to be of the normal height? And only 1 out of 25,000 people affected with this genetic disorder, so we can say that probability of this male to be of the normal height would be 24,999 out of 25,000. So we have to multiply these two probabilities. I'm not going to show you calculations because every second grader know how to divide and multiply numbers. So let's now move to the second question: colorblind female and normal height. So for female to belong to this genotype, in order to be affected, probability would be as follows. For the first X chromosome, this is going to be 9 out of 100. For the second X chromosome, this is also going to be 9 out of 100. And we have to multiply these two probabilities. And what is her probability to be of the normal height? And probability is going to be, so we again have to multiply by 24,999 divided by 25,000. By the way, you even don't need to do any calculations with your calculator, because, for example, in the first case, this number is going to be so close to 1 that we can ignore the small deviation from 1. So this is going to be 1. And this is going to be 9%. So answer would be 9%. Now let's move to the next question. Males with normal vision and achondroplasia. And probability would be as follows. So 91 over 100. And probability of achondroplasia would be 1 out of 25,000. One more time, if 9% in this population are defective X chromosome, that means that probability for a male to be of this genotype would be 91%. Number 4, this question is interesting. Take a look. What is the probability in this population for females to be with normal vision and achondroplasia? For the first part of this question, we basically have to find probability for female not to belong to this genotype. Otherwise, she would be affected. In statistics, 1 stands for the 100% because we do all our calculations on the scale between 0 and 1 instead of 0 and 100%. So 1 minus probability for a female to belong to this genotype would be 9 out of 100 for the first X chromosome to be defective, and the same probability for the second chromosome to be defective. So what we have found in parentheses, we have found probability for this female to belong to this genotype or to this genotype. In both cases, she is going to be phenotypically normal. So what we have here in this parenthesis, this is related to the first trait. So we have found her probability of not belonging to this genotype to be with normal vision. And what is her probability to have achondroplasia? And probability is 1 out of 25,000. Number 5, males with both color blindness and achondroplasia. 9 out of 100 times 1 over 25,000. And the last one, females with both color blindness and achondroplasia. 9 out of 100, probability that her first X chromosome would be defective. 9 over 100 that second would be defective. And achondroplasia 1 out of 25,000. Subscribe and see you in the next video. Goodbye.